I don't really want to do this, man. It's raining, it's cold, it's cloudy. On second thought, I can just do this video again tomorrow. Here's a textbook case of someone trying to run from their responsibilities of the day. The act of someone trying to dodge work, the way Muhammad Ali dodges punches, is what we call procrastination. If you're still in school or in university, then I've got news for you. You procrastinate. Let's not kid ourselves. We all procrastinate, but especially students, high school students, university students, we procrastinate the most. Sure, adults may procrastinate too at times, but students is where it's at. You cannot convince me that there is any student who does their homework the moment that the thought of doing so comes to mind, because there's no way. 99% of us just don't do that. There's only that 1% of geniuses, people that actually do their homework when they're supposed to, especially in today's society when kids, watch, consume, and breathe social media. I can guarantee right now, if you go and look at your weekly watch time, you'll have 6 hours per day minimum. As a matter of fact, you're probably procrastinating right now with this video. Anyway, so when we bombard ourselves daily with, Insta Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Facebook videos, we kinda get sidetracked and we lose sight of the goal. It's like, okay, I have this really important assignment that it's due in 2 days. So if I start now, I'll be able to do it calmly, without any stress, without any problems. But then, something comes into mind and you're like, okay, but first let me just watch this 5-minute documentary about, I don't know, leaves. Just imagine the most random video comes to mind and you just want to watch it. That's the first step to procrastinating, because you're in your mind, you're like, okay, I'm gonna start this work, but after I watch this. So then you start, it's morning, you watch the video, then you're like, okay, let me watch another. And all of a sudden it's 1 p.m. Now you gotta eat. It's lunchtime. It's 1 p.m. You've eaten lunch. Now what? You tell yourself, all right, I have the entire afternoon. What can possibly go wrong? Let me just watch a few more TikToks. Then it's 5 p.m. It's 5 p.m. That's how it always ends up. Whenever you say, okay, just one more TikTok, just one more YouTube video, you just waste the entirety of your day away. And you're just left there thinking, oh my God. So you're like, okay, in 2 hours I'm gonna eat anyway, so what's the point of studying? Let me just watch some more videos. So you reach dinner time, you eat your dinner, and then you're tired. You're tired from doing nothing. That's the point. That's what procrastination is. You set out a goal for yourself, but you don't want to do that work, so you distract yourself. So then you just tell yourself, okay, I'll do it tomorrow because I have another day. Now you go to sleep with a sense of shame and guilt. You're like, oh, if only I started this morning, I might have made it. I wouldn't have been stressing like this. Why did I do this to myself? And you realize you threw the entirety of your day in the bin. Like, you just crumpled it up and dumped it in the bin. So now you wake up the next day and you just rinse and repeat until you reach the red line. Visualize a rectangle. Okay, we have a rectangle and it has a red line near its end. All right, now this rectangle represents the time that you have to complete your task, and as time goes on, the rectangular bar fills up. We have two zones. We have the blue zone and we have the black zone. Now the blue zone is the zone that gives you the opportunity to do your work stress-free and with enough time to complete it without worrying about anything. If you reach the black zone, you're done for. It's like you're Brazil losing against Germany 7-1 in the World Cup. As time goes on, you reach a certain point before the black zone, which is the red line. Now the red line is the sweet spot of us procrastinators. Every procrastinator knows when they step on it, because the moment you step on the red line is when you're slapped with a wave of anxiety and you feel like, if we don't do anything, we're gonna fall in the abyss that is utter and miserable failure. Now that I think about it, was the letter F just created for everything that is synonymous with failure? Like, we got Fortnite, we got fanny packs, we got furry. The red line is the starting line, whereas procrastinators begin our work. It's the instant before doom. It's like in the second season of JJK. これより四方一丁の人間だい。俺がよしというまで動くのを禁ずる。
What the hell? Oh my god, no way,
I think that's a good visual for it. So, the moment you step on the red line, it's off to the races. Everyone is scrambling to get their work done. They're researching, they're doing everything to complete their work in the amount of time that they've left. There are many tutorials on YouTube, on how to study smart and how to study in a very efficient manner. But in my experience, they don't really work because studying is subjective for everyone. Some people may have more trouble studying in a certain way, and other people may find that easier. The reason that we procrastinate to begin with is because we don't look forward to the work that we have to do. It's not something that we enjoy, thus we try to distract ourselves from it so that we don't have to think about it. For example, if your parents come up to you one day and just tell you, all right, son, do you want me to buy you a PS5? You won't be like, oh, nah, man, nah, mom, dad, I'm sorry. I don't really need a PS5 right now. We can go a few hours later to buy the PS5. Like, no, put me in the car right now. Matter of fact, I'm driving that car. I'm going as fast as I can. That's the point, when there's something that matters to us, when there's something that we love, then we never waste time. We immediately do it. Even if it's work, if it's a subject that you really like, it doesn't feel like work. School is the easiest example. We have so many subjects throughout our high school, middle school, elementaries. We don't have enough time to process it all. Some students like arts and some students like maths. There might be some psychopaths who like both, but most of the time, kids find their passion in specific fields. So you can't pretend that everyone will like everything. School is the easiest example for why students procrastinate the most instead of working adults. Working adults have actual responsibilities. Their literal livelihood depends on their work. So they can't really procrastinate on it. Otherwise, you'll end up homeless, and with a lot of problems. So that's why, working adults most of the time don't or can't actually procrastinate, because the scale of the gamble is way higher. Life or death, basically. Whereas when you're a student, you don't have any worries, you don't have any responsibilities, so you can afford to waste time, to waste hours, and not be productive. So how do we resolve this? Well, basically, you just do it. You just have to do it. Yeah, that's it. It sounds simplistic, but there's a very complex framework behind it. What I mean by just do it is that you have to kind of put yourself in the mindset of immediately taking action. And you do that in two steps: having an empty mind and compromise. What I mean by having an empty mind, first of all, is that you have to be brainless. You just have to do it. You don't have to think about anything. The moment the thought of doing work comes to mind and you have your phone in your hand, just yeet the phone out of your hand and go sit on the desk, put the utensils on your desk, and just sit there. Just sit there without your thoughts and do nothing. Just be there without your phone. If you are capable of doing that, then you've cleared the first step. The second step is compromise. Now, with compromise, what we mean is, if you have some work, let's say 3 math exercises to do, once you've sat down, you compromise with yourself. You just tell yourself, okay, it's not that bad. I don't have to do 3 exercises. I'll just do 1 for now. And once you visualize doing that 1 exercise, you realize it doesn't sound that bad, and so you start doing it. You kind of start making a deal with your own brain, and you trick yourself into doing the work. And when you start, you get in the zone. Now, once you're in the zone and you're doing that exercise and you finish the exercise, you're like, okay, that wasn't so bad. Let me just get this second exercise and do that as well. And you do that exercise, and then you finish that exercise, and you're on to the third now. And at the end of it, you just finished everything. But it doesn't matter if you finish all the exercises one day or you just actually do that 1 exercise that you compromised on. What's important is that you did the work that you set out to do. You actually took action into doing it. That's how you beat procrastination. At least for me, in my experience, all that I had to do was just sitting down and doing the damn work. Most of the time procrastination happens when we overthink, when we just freeze out and we just look at our phone. When you look at your phone, it's game over, because the moment you click on a video, the desire for doing any work just goes out the window. One thing you have to do is just eat off the phone, sit on the desk, and compromise with yourself into doing a tiny amount of work. And maybe, just maybe, if you're in the zone, you'll end up doing everything. All of us, we have different reasons for procrastinating. Some of us may be in abusive households, or maybe you're in a household that is so loud that you can't concentrate, and that makes you want to just not do the work. Or you may be depressed, I don't know, or you may be all three. Regardless, the most important thing is to just take action and to never let yourself sink further and further down below the rabbit hole that is doom scrolling on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, because it'll never end and you'll waste all your time and you'll regret it. And in conclusion, roses are red, violets are blue. Like and subscribe and get off of YouTube. Oh God. It's all wet. Damn it. The rain.